All right, here we go on this Tippler Talk Tuesday. A recap of these birds that I just received from the Loft. Here you can see I picked out 2 out of the 11 just to show a little closer video and maybe a little bit closer. Let me show you what these birds are looking like. And there's a reason for it. Let me start out with this little hen right here. This little hen, the reason why I picked, that looks like a cock, and I got the hen right here. I want you to look at the band. I stand corrected. I've been pronouncing the birds from the gentleman that these birds come from incorrectly. These were bred by Nesh Milik from Las Vegas, Nevada. Here it is, original band on the bird. And this one actually is a very old bird. He was a member of the FTS, all right, Flying Tippler Society at one time. Band number is 339, and it's 2011. Seeing is believing, folks. So there you have it. This one's from, they're all from that line. And I'm gonna show you the cock. They're smaller frame birds. Now, I have a variety in my loft. Regardless of what people say, I have large, medium, and small. Different types of bodies that I've bred over the years. Here goes the other one. Nesh Milik. Again, I handle them. They have a smaller wingspan, mediums, and of course they're all going through the molt here in Florida. And yeah, nothing pretty about them. I won't deny they'll be pretty in the sky, but nothing pretty in a cage, because that's not what we're doing here. We're not doing aesthetics, we're doing athletics. And for those watching my videos, you know where I'm coming from. I've been down that road, nothing really to see in the cage, other than what you're looking at here. Here's a cock, here's the hen. I think they're gonna make a nice pair. They're all from the same family, or same line. But let me show you something. When I got these birds, I spoke to Dennis, and I told him exactly what I was gonna do. The first things I was gonna do was go ahead, quarantine them, which they are. I'm going to worm them. But I also want you to look at these products here real quick. These are just a few products that I always like to keep on hand. Some of them are not even open. This one's not even open, it's still sealed. This one's still sealed. But I like the fact that I'd rather have it and not need it than to need it and not have it. Sometimes these medications get expired. I don't care, I'll throw them away after a certain time. No big deal. But I'm going to treat them for these items right here, okay? Mycoplasma, any respiratory, if they have something, Salmonella, and E. coli. This is just a form of the old, if you've heard of Baytril. This is enrofloxacin, just like Baytril. Same thing, 10%. And it gives you the instructions on how to administer this liquid. Same thing with all these other different brands. I like different brands. I like trying different brands. I don't get stuck on one brand whatsoever. Some people like one brand. That's okay too. I just keep whatever, not so much whatever's on sale, but whatever I feel may have a better description of what I'm looking for, I'll go ahead and purchase. For performance purposes, I'll start giving them this afterwards, and of course, breeder advantage for the little hen there and the cock. If they're older, we don't know. We're going to go ahead and take care of that. And always, this is a better natural supplement that combats and it reduces coccidiosis if it has any. Most birds, they all carry something. They all carry coccidia, E. coli, salmonella. You name it, every pigeon has it. You just don't know unless you take your birds to go get tested by a veterinarian, or if you do a dropping under a microscope test, and so on. Here, these are all the things that I'll take precaution just to say the least that I did it. Get that peace of mind. Another supplement, good stuff. Which brings me to tipplers. Tippler Talk Tuesday. Look, folks, if you want to fly tipplers, that's one thing. If you want to have them, that's another. If you want to show them, that's another. Now, guys out there on the internet that watch my videos have been mistaken. They misunderstand. They like to twist the information around to their benefit, their liking. I'm going to say it once and I'll say it again. My birds will fly a variation of hours. It's not about claiming that they fly long. What I'm trying to do here is trying to fly long for a record here in Florida. No one's done it yet that I know of, and I like to be one of the pioneers in doing that. I don't have the knowledge on how to prepare my birds to fly for hours. I do know that I have good quality birds in my loft that can give me certain hours. Guys want to be out there making videos, saying that the birds only fly 45 minutes. On a hot day, extreme day with a lot of humidity and moisture, birds here in Florida are not going to fly long. Which brings me to this topic here. In order to start your goal in flying tipplers, you should do a couple things. Here's what you should be doing, or you could be doing. People will take their own, make their own choices and their own roads on how they want to do. First of all, you got to pick a quality pigeon club. All right. So what's a good quality pigeon club? Well, the ones that are going to provide you with information on how to fly, or if you have any questions, they're willing to answer those questions for you. Okay. So for example, I have two clubs right here in front of me. I have the FTS and I have the CNTU, which I am a member of. Now, contrary to what people may think, I used to be a member of the ATU, Southern Chapter ATU. That's in the rearview mirror. From what I understand, they're still doing the same thing they were doing back then. They haven't done it yet. Not one flyer, north or south, have ever time fly that I know of. But I know for a fact that the CNTU, they're doing it, and the FTS, they're doing it. And it's been proven. You got guys trying all the time, putting videos up, putting the results up, and that's what they're doing. That's what I want to do. So on this Tippler Talk Tuesday, you have to make that decision. Pick a good club. What these two clubs have done for me in less than 1 year, the other club has not. And that's given me a world of information on how to fly tipplers. I know how to fly tipplers, but I do not have the knowledge on how to get to the high times. Oh, I can tell you, I can compete with any of the ATU members right now, Southern Chapter ATU, and put my birds up, and I am 100% positive that I can surpass any of those times that they have on the books here. Any of those times. That's not a problem. The problem that I'm having is that I want to surpass my goal here in my backyard. And for Tippler Talk Tuesday, you got to pick the right club, folks. The second part of that conversation is going to be the quality of the bird. The birds that I just showed you, okay, those birds are quality birds, quality line. I have to work them. I have to do my part with them. I can't just throw them in the loft like any other bird and expect them to fly. I have to do my part, which I'm still working with my line and working with this line. You guys saw it, the Nesh Milik FTS band number 339. It's a 2011 band. It's a hen. You saw it firsthand. I showed it to you, and that's what I'm talking about. It came from a reputable person that has flown for time. When it comes to the health of the birds, you have to do your part with this stuff here. Read, learn how to administer those medications, and for what reasons. And here's the other part. You guys that are watching, we can all discuss, there's a lot of similarities in diseases, bacteria, and so on. But you got to get information that will give you not only the disease, the treatment, and the symptoms. You got to get something like that. Learn. It will teach you a bunch of stuff, that you didn't know. Just like the pigeon. What a great book. It has a variety of a lot of things, from loft management to cleanliness to health to training, medications, everything you can think of, all in one. That's a great book. And then the next book I have there in front of me is the Book of Standards through the NPA, which I am still a member of, the NPA, National Pigeon Association. That book right there has standards as well of all kinds of pigeon breeds, and you want to learn the standard. That's one thing. But the standard does not apply when you're flying birds. If you're flying birds, that standard is not going to mean a darn thing, because that standard does not apply whether the bird's too big, the head's too round or flat, or the wing, or the short legs, long legs in a tippler. It's not going to matter up in the sky. The question is it going to fly? That's the question. And we were all there once. We all have to grow. We all have to learn. We all have to share information. And the guys that are not doing that and that are just making videos for entertainment purposes only, that's all they are, is entertainment purposes only. But what I'm doing here is what I've always done on my channel, and that is promote the pigeon hobby, teach others, we learn together, and we share the information so we could all grow. How are you going to grow and learn anything from a channel or video that's just merely just talking about themselves, or talking about, what trophies they won, or what how good their bird looks? That makes no sense whatsoever, and it's not doing anything for the pigeon hobby. When it comes to flying, the treatment of the birds, knowing the quality of the bird, right? The Book of Standard, if you're doing a pigeon pageant with those little Portuguese tumblers, yeah, you may want to get that book and learn. But if you're flying, skip all that. Go right to the source. Go right to how to train. And for the two viewers out there that asked, what was that book about? Tipplers, the thoroughbreds of the sky. And of course, no other than Nino Bujaya from Canada, the vice president of the CNTU. Great information he put together there. If you want to learn how to fly birds, tipplers, that is, flying performance tipplers like Nino. All right? So you can always do better in your loft. And instead of on the sidelines, go ahead, throw your remarks out there. In this pigeon game stuff here, it always gets like that. It's always he said, she said, but ultimately in the end, we have to all work together and promote the hobby, right? So let's do that. And the other side of that is, the other part of that is, again, you got viewers out there that will take the information misunderstand it. I guess they don't have the mindset or the IQ to understand when they watch a video of what I'm saying. I've had birds in my lifetime when I was a kid, 10 years old, fly 5, 10 minutes, 10, 15 minutes. That's it. That's what I'm talking about. Not that they do that now. That's what they used to do when I was a kid. But as a kid, you grow, you learn, you read, you educate yourself, and that's what you do. And you do the practical, meaning you read on how to treat a symptom if you have it in your loft, and you get the products. And then you watch the birds. And then you do your own assessment of what your birds are doing. And when you exhaust all that and you can't do that anymore, then you seek for more knowledge and you go to someone that has more knowledge than you do. And then you ask for help. But you have to be willing to do it yourself first. Minutes, it is what it is. Take it for what it's worth. But I know for a fact that that club is not doing it. Haven't done it and will never do it. They will never get a bird up in the sky for more than 15, 20, maybe an hour. Maybe. The only thing that club is worried about right now is how many bands can I sell? Are you coming to the cookout? Did you see my birds? They're in the cage, they look great. What else? Oh, let me sell you some merch. Did you buy a patch? Did you buy a hat? Did you buy a shirt? Did you do this? Did you do that? It's all about the money. I'm collecting all this money for the club, but for what? And I can't believe that there's that many sheep out there giving their money and getting nothing back in return for it. Unbelievable on how this pigeon game has people fooled. Where here in the South, all we're trying to do is educate folks down here and learn how to keep a better pigeon in your loft. Keep a better flight in your loft, if that's what you want to do. You cannot have a bird, call it a flying tippler, if you're not flying it and just showing it. And you cannot go out and buy or get gifted birds that you say they fly, and now they're not flying and they're no good. I don't understand that. You know? Here's what I'm talking about, folks. If you're not doing this right here, if you're not educating yourself, if you're not taking the steps, step number 1, join the right club. Step number 2, know the difference between a show pigeon pageant bird tippler versus a performance tippler. And where you're getting them from, reputable with records and times, if that's what you want to do. Know the health of the bird. How are you going to know if you have a healthy bird if you're not educated? You don't know what the disease is, you don't know what to treat it for, and you don't know what the symptoms look like. So you got to learn that, okay? Training the tippler. If you don't know how to train a bird, you're never going to fly the bird properly. So, like I said, I can fly birds, but what I don't know how to do is get them to fly for a long, extended period of time. So I know what to do. And I'll continue to do my thing here in Florida. All right? And one last note. I continue to share my information. I will always share my information. I will help teach those that want to learn how to fly real tipplers. And it's all about communicating and pigeon mumbling for the right reasons, not for the wrong. So remember, folks, if you're watching my channel, you come back next week, stay tuned. I'll try to bring something new to the table. But until then, have a good day. Stay active with your pigeons. Keep them flying like they say. And get yourself some performing tipplers if that's what you want to do. All right, folks, I'm off this.